This video will give an overview of the various players and flows in a given card transaction. Card payments is a massive industry. In 2018, €41.4 billion was spent via card transactions in the euro area alone. The network are the guys in charge. They set the rules, stipulate the fees, manage the liquidity as they facilitate transactions with the use of cards, be it debit, credit or prepaid. Networks come in various shapes and sizes. The behemoths of Visa, MasterCard and Amex, alongside smaller domestic players such as Carnet in Mexico and Interac in Canada. In the recent past, we've seen global adoption of China UnionPay. There are extensive barriers to entry in becoming a card payments network. The other primary players are as follows. Issuing bank, also known as a card issuer, is a bank, financial institution or credit union that is affiliated to the network brands and provides credit or debit cards directly to customers. Acquiring bank, also known as an acquirer, is a bank or financial institution that processes credit or debit card payments on behalf of a merchant. The acquirer allows merchants to accept credit card payments from the card issuing banks within a given network via POS terminals or online. These banks are required to apply for a membership with the individual networks in order for their respective clients to transact on the network. This also means the banks take on further liability and must adhere to the network's book of rules as well as its own financial regulation. On becoming a principal member, the issuing bank is able to bear the logo of the payment network on the cards. This also begins to define the BIN. The bank identification number, known as a BIN, is the initial 4 to 6 digits that appear on a given payment card. The bank identification number uniquely identifies the institution issuing the card. The issuing bank's client is any individual or business that uses that credit or debit card, and the acquiring bank's client is any merchant accepting payment via their POS terminal for their online shop. Remember, a card transaction must be authorised within seconds of a transaction taking place. That involves taking a number of different systems needing to communicate to ensure transactions are either approved or declined. This is made possible by the processor. The processor builds in technology so that card transactions are authorised by all the various parties in milliseconds. Each bank utilises their own processor. This can be either in-house or third-party. Processors can sit on both sides of issuing and acquiring, even though the requirements are different. Payment gateway is a tool that securely transmits the online payment data to the processor to continue the life cycle of the transaction. It also authorises payment for card-not-present transactions, mostly for e-commerce websites. Think of it as an online point-of-sale terminal for your business. The card transaction lifecycle. The customer makes a purchase via the merchant's online portal using their prepaid Intercash card. The payment gateway automatically passes the transaction to the processor. The processor passes the transaction to the network. The network routes the payment to the relevant card issuer's processor. The issuing processor automatically passes the transaction to the issuer. The issuer approves or declines the transaction based on available funds back to the network via the processor. The approval or decline is relayed back to the acquiring processor. The processor automatically sends this transaction onto the payment gateway. The payment gateway stores the transaction and notifies the customer and/or merchant of approval or decline. Points 1 to 9 are completed in under 4 seconds. And that is card payments explained in under 4 minutes. Thank you.